artists. Today I wanted to show you how we are going to take our printmaking design on paper with pencil and get it onto a printmaking block. These are the printmaking blocks that we are going to use. They are 6 inches by 4 inches, so our design's a little bit smaller. And we're going to transfer our pencil design onto these blocks today. So the first and most important thing to do is make sure you have your design done in regular pencil. If you didn't, it's not a big deal. Just make sure you grab a regular pencil or borrow a regular pencil and go over your design with a regular pencil. Then, to make it a little easier, I cut out my design. So you do want it to be about the same size as the block. So use a pair of scissors to carefully cut out your design. Make sure all the scraps end up in the garbage. So now I have my design cut out, and it should be about the same size as my printing block. However, before you can put your design on the printing block, we have to wash and dry our printing blocks. So make sure you take a moment to go over to the sink and wash and dry your printing block. So just a little water, doesn't matter if it's hot or cold, wash it off and make sure you dry the print really, really good on both sides with a paper towel. Because over the summer when they ship these, they do put powder on them so they don't stick together, but you want to make sure that you get the powder off or else our design will not stick. All right, I have my printing block washed and dried, and it's really important to make sure you write your name on the side, the very, very skinny side. You don't want to write it on the back because you might need to use the back. So write it with a Sharpie on the side. Make sure your block is nice and dry. And it is a little challenging to write on printing blocks, so do the best you can. And you're gonna put your name very little on the side, the skinny, skinny side of the block. Now, I recommend you use a regular pencil instead of a mechanical pencil for this next step, because we are going to take our paper with our pencil design on it and flip it upside down onto the block. So regular design on paper with pencil, flip it onto the block so it's face down. I'm gonna do it over here, which is a little challenging to see, but my design is face down on my block, and then I'm going to hold it with one hand so it doesn't move. You don't want it to move. And with your other hand, with your pencil, you are going to color all over it. You don't really want the pencil straight up and down because you might rip, so I kind of hold it at an angle, and I'm actually holding it quite hard. You would never want to draw like this or write like this, but I'm gonna do it today. So I'm gonna press really hard, and I'm coloring over the entire back of my block. And I'm not missing any spots, going in one direction and the other direction. I'm making sure that I'm not moving my paper at all. I can move my hand a little bit to hold it down, but I'm not moving my paper at all. You literally want to color the entire back of your paper and not miss any spots. Don't wiggle. Don't let the paper move at all. And really push hard, but don't rip the paper. So you're pressing hard, you're going in all directions, but not hard enough to rip the paper. So that's why my pencil's kind of laying down when I'm doing it. I want to show you what the paper looks like up close when I do this. Look at my hands. My hands are a mess. The paper totally, completely covered. And if you do it correctly, when you move the paper, it should have transferred your design onto your block. You know how the graphite gets all over your hands when you use it? We're using that concept to try to get the graphite onto your block. And you'll notice your design is going to be reversed, and that's okay. So if you have any words on there, they're going to be backwards on your block, and that's okay. Please don't freak out. Then the next step is kind of annoying, but the next step will be to take a Sharpie and go over your pencil lines. Even though they might look good now, they do get smudged when we start to carve. Yes, that's right, I said carve our design. So we wanna go over them with Sharpie, but I'll be honest with you. It's kind of a pain to go over it with Sharpie. So do the best you can. There's thick and thin Sharpies. You can also make some changes to your design. Make some of your lines a little thicker or thinner. And you're gonna go over all your lines with the Sharpie. It is gonna get clogged up. You know how my Sharpies never work? It's because of the printing box. So have scrap paper handy. And if your Sharpie clogs up, do little circles and then keep going back to outlining. And you do want to outline. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the best outline ever because we're actually just going to carve it. You just don't want it to be smudging. So, oh my gosh, the graphite from the pencil is clogging up my Sharpie. Take a minute on my scrap paper, little circles, get that graphite off, get the chalk off from the printing block, and then you keep going. So it is going to be frustrating. This is going to take a little while. This might take 20 minutes. This might take an entire class period, but do the best you can to go over all of your Sharpie lines, all of your pencil lines, excuse me, with Sharpie. And take your time, and then I'll show you the next steps. So you could see I've gotten some of my pencil lines covered with Sharpie. I'm just going to keep going, going, going. Good luck. Have fun, make some amazing art. Can't wait to see what you make.